here before I forget.
Imagining the whole thing and none of it's recorded. Still good conversations.
Oh yeah.
Right. I think that the first roundtable that we did was better off air than it was on air. You know what I mean?
There we go. Start streaming. Who knows where we're streaming to? I don't. It looks like we're live. So I start off here. What is happening, Hardscapers? This is the How to Hardscape Roundtable Rally. And we are kicked off with that. Cheers, guys. And we've got, for now, an all-Canadian roundtable rally here. Unless Danny of Niche joins us. But Matt is going to join us of Hardscape Ottawa, from what I know. But guys, thank you again for joining us for another one of these. We've got Mike of Paver King at Paver_King on Instagram. We've got Tony at Zamco Group or Group Zamco at Zamco Group on Instagram, and Chad of Natural Design Landscapes. That is at Natural Design Landscapes on Instagram. Guys, thank you so much for joining me.
Hey, thank you.
Anytime.
Hey, Chad, let's get started with talking about the list, because that's kind of been making its way around Instagram there. I keep on hearing about this list. Chad, what is the list, if you could kind of fill us in a little bit here?
So everybody, especially in springtime, everybody's got the list, right? One morning last week, me and my guys were joking around. I was always on my phone. People were calling, "Where am I on the list? Put me on the list. Can you save us a spot on the list?" And like, holy shit, they're all asking about this list. And like, it's sort of all in our minds, right? We all have the list. But if you put it all together, like all the clients want to know where they are on the list. It's just like this this thing up in the air, and everybody's got their list. So yeah, to put it to words and then put it out there, I think a lot of guys related to that, and sort of hit it off there, and everybody's like, "Oh, the list," and it went wild for a while there, which is pretty cool.
Paver King in the back.
The list.
Right there, baby.
I got my list
The
up
list
there.
is live.
Oh, that's great. That's
There's
awesome.
my list.
The list live.
Here's my
It's all
list.
up in here, right?
It's all up in here. That's what people get forgotten.
As I kind of get an Instagram post going here, guys, how is your list? Are you like, is your season booked out? Are you looking to get, as many projects lined up as possible for the season to get that product ordered, to know that you're not going to experience these product shortages? And in addition to that, as we continue on here, what have you been hearing from your suppliers in terms of product and in terms of them changing payment plans, whatever it might be? What's going on in your neck of the woods? Whoever wants to start us off with that.
Well, I mean, go ahead, Mike.
No, go ahead, bro.
Yeah.
My point, I've never asked this question, so you get it up first.
No, I mean, for us, I mean, I basically started placing orders in March. And the problem is, so I placed it thinking, I'm going to prepare in advance and all of that, but there at a certain point, it just becomes a stock issue, right? Like my supplier called me and he's like, I can't possibly hold all of this material. And I'm ordering for jobs out in June and July. And he's like, I can't hold the material for 3 months. I'm like, then, just make sure I can get it when the time comes. I don't see that as a possibility. I don't see that as something that you could guarantee me. So figure it out. If not, I'll have to find a supplier that can stock my orders. Right. I made the mistake that this year I ordered a lot of Industria. And anyone who uses Industria knows that it's very small quantities per pallet. So it just creates a mountain of pallets. But yeah, I think that the back orders this year are looking the same, if not worse than last year. It's like no preparation was done. It's like nothing was. I mean, then again, guys, I don't know about you, but in Montreal anyway, we're never able to start this early. Last time was like 2012. It was April 9th. So I think that everyone jumped the gun, at least here. So they were like, okay, wait. All the material's ready for May. Yeah, but we're starting now, So I don't know if that's the same. Like, are you guys usually, off the ground at this point?
No.
I don't think so. Like, I can't remember starting this early, not Interlock at least. But like, I'm trying to get probably 5, 6, 7, 8 orders ahead of time, right? And I'll just do them as they become available. Like, sure, you're on the list, but it really depends when your material comes in. We'll do them as they come, right? And that's just how people are going to have to deal with it this year.
I haven't had any problems, but our business is vastly different than everyone else's, right? Like we do a lot of commercial work for our one big client, so like I'm not super worried about materials. And then on the residential jobs we have, I just make sure they're picking stuff that people have. So I've only, last year we had one problem with one product because a homeowner was really insistent, but this season I have 2 big residential jobs we're doing right now. We have a couple other ones, but like I'll just make sure people pick from what's there. And most of our business this season is going to be all commercial, so I'm not as worried about it.
Yeah. Anytime, like if I can't get a residential product, I'll switch over to commercial job and put more of the guys on that, and we'll just wait till the material becomes available.
Yeah.
So.
I only do residential, so I'm honestly, last year, and I already feel it happening this year. I'm doing it already. You're just juggling schedule. You're juggling the list all the time.
That's it.
It comes down to that. It's that you're exactly like you said, Chad. I was having this conversation with someone today. I go, there is no more schedule.
Yeah.
At this point. Yeah. It's like, okay, you sign first. There's obviously the order in which the clients sign, but if I don't have your material, then I have to wait till it comes in, and I'm gonna go to the next one or the next one.
Yeah.
Almost every single one of my projects that I placed orders for, I'm missing something.
Yeah.
Something. And then I go to my supplier, I'm like, okay, so out of my orders, which ones are good to go? And he's like, oh, this one, like that one's missing the pool. Like I have the material, I don't have a pool. This one, oh, that one's missing that. And all I could get my hands on right now is like blue 60 and blue 80. So it's like, okay, cool. Which jobs? I mean, I install more like, the higher end products. So it's like, okay, well, which jobs? I had to grab two projects from August, and I'm doing them next week.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So it's great because all it does, like that way, you don't. It's like, hey guys, we're starting our season, but sorry, we gotta wait for material for a couple of days. Everything keeps rolling, but I didn't help my advancing the start date. I didn't help my schedule. I just freed up a week in August, which who cares? It's August.
You know what I mean? Down the line, right? Like you'll feel it definitely. Out, obviously,
I'll feel good about it at that point. But right now, it's like, damn, I wish I was able to advance my month of May. That would have been fantastic.
How do your clients feel about it though? Whenever you tell them, hey, your material's not here,
I tell them if you could find it.
What's that?
I go, if you could find it, I'll install it.
There you go.
That's at the end of the day.
That's the right answer, I think.
If you can get your hands on it, then man, go. Let's do this.
Last year when we had the one problem, the clients are calling, they're upset. I get it, totally understand. But I was like saying to them, like, it doesn't exist. It's sand and cement in a pile. I was like, if it was in Alberta, I have a triaxle dump truck and a 30-foot float. I would send Christy to go get it, but it physically doesn't exist. It's a pile of sand. So I don't know what you want me to do. Like I can't. It's not like I'm being lazy or I'm not trying to find it, or this product physically doesn't exist right now. And we were in a queue of 7,000 square feet. Like at our supplier, they queue you, right? So whatever product is missing, you end up at the end of the queue. So on that product, we were at the bottom of a 7,000 square foot queue. So they did a run of that product. They only ran 6,000 for our suppliers. So then we were at the bottom of the 1,000 square foot queue until they put that mold back into the plant. I'm like, I don't know what you want me to do. It's like sand and cement. Like I can get Christy to go get 20 ton of sand and dump it in your driveway if you want to start making it yourself. And you put it in.
No guarantee.
What you want me to do here? It physically doesn't. It's not there. So I mean, it was like they did understand, and I get people are frustrated because they're excited and they want to be able to go outside, and I mean they try to be patient, but it did get to a conversation where I was literally like, well, I can go get 20 tons of sand from the pit if you want. You can ask Oaks for their mold. You know, maybe they'll lend it to you. Jump up and
sure.
You know, whatever.
Just come by with your Toyota Tercel, slap it in the trunk, and you can just go on your way.
You see why people are. I mean, for me this spring, like in Ontario, trying to move soil is like next level impossible because they started the table ones and January 1st, and like you can't dump fill anywhere. In 2 years, the most expensive part of landscaping in Ontario is going to be getting rid of the dirt.
Oh my God. I don't have any of that problem. Like I have 12 acres. I can dump where I like I'm in a completely different zone from you guys, right? Like you guys are big city. I'm small town. Like I don't need a tiny.
Our big dump won't take a load of fill without a table.
Holy shit.
So just as an experiment, I was like, my wife, or like the office, she called and said, we're digging a pool in our own backyard because they won't even give pool permits without a table one. And you have to have the location it's being taken from, and you have to have the destination it's going to.
Holy cow.
Or they won't give you a pool permit. So like we called and said, okay, like we're going to put a pool in our backyard. How much to do the test? It took us 5 days to find someone that would even do the test. And then it was $3,000 for the test.
Wow. So wait, you guys got to pay $3,000, or I'm assuming that's the going rate, to do a soil test on every single excavation you do?
It will be within the next 5 years. And then
that's insane.
In the fill dumps now, they're throwing GPS pins into the dump so they can tell where each load came from.
Wow.
Shit.
It's crazy. It's getting rid of dirt right now is like we just bought a tandem bin truck and 10 bins, and I'm like, whatever, maybe I'll put it on Kijiji.
I'll take it.
Like you can't dump anywhere. Like you literally can't. Like you can't do anything. I'm like, okay. You know, like I'm sure it'll have to sort itself out, and it'll probably get easier. It's the same as like I can remember when there was no locates. Like I'm old, probably. If you add up all of your ages, you might get to me. So like, I remember when we just dug holes, you know, and then getting locates became like a big hassle, and everyone freaked out. And then now it's like a standard part of your procedure, right? Because it's required by law. So I'm sure in Ontario, when you go to do pools, there's going to, you know, people are going to call 6 months in advance to get this. They come and like drill bores and do soil testing. Yeah. That's just going to become part of it. It's just that this is the year, amidst all the other shit that's going on, they decide to start randomly enforcing this law from 2014. Like the laws from 2014, let's randomly enforce it. Like, wow. I got invited to 4 dump truck protests this week, right? All these dump truck protests they're having. I got invited to all of them. And I'm like, you guys are protesting like a spiff axle. Great, whatever. Like you had 15 years to prepare for this. You didn't, I get it. But I'm like, you guys should be protesting this soil crap because all of you, it won't matter what axle's on your truck. There's no fucking soil to move anymore. Like, it doesn't matter what axle you have. Who cares if you have a spiff or a drop? It will be irrelevant. Like, it's, anyway. Yeah. For us, the last week has been like, 2 weeks have been like an anxiety-filled mess over all of this.
Holy cow. What a way to start your season, eh?
Oh, dude.
Do you guys have like a freeze-thaw cycle, let's say, or like we have it, it's called degel in Quebec. It's basically thaw, the ground thawing, where you're restricted on okay, it's half loads, like
half loads,
So is that like legitimately half the load?
No, it's not, because you're
because I'm like, that's
your front axle's overweight with your motor on it, so it's not even like Christie's truck is good for 22.7 out of the pit normally. On half loads, it's good for 7 ton.
Really?
Yeah.
Half loads don't count on like an F550 or something, right? Like a little truck, you're okay.
They're not going to put So
well, for us, it still counts. Basically, we're allowed to carry 20% less weight of what the truck's maximum capacity is.
We're allowed 5 tons. 5
tons an axle, which is silly. Like,
well, oh my God,
Christie's truck tears at 13. Right?
You just need to add more axles. That's the trick.
Yeah.
What's up, Matt? Matt just snuck in here and nobody acknowledged that he was there.
The half loads, like they're actually pulling half loads in our area this Friday below Highway 7, which is like, the dividing line, which it's like, honestly, like for all of us, we're like, oh my God, because normally it wouldn't matter that much because not that many people call, but right now there's like tons of people call me to stock their yards, but I can't get to their yard.
Yeah.
Because the fine is like, if you get, I think it's $1 a pound. So Christie could easily be 17 or 18,000 pounds overweight on a half load road. So it's like a $17,000 fine or something. Like it's not worth it.
Man, they wreck you guys. Like us, we get like a
tandem bin truck is overweight with the bin empty on the truck almost.
Oh,
that's insane.
Yeah. Well, all trucks are overweight on the front axle because the motor is over the front axle. So they're all overweight automatically if they wanted to be dick about it. But the whole thing is like a disaster. Plus, you can't move soil anywhere in Toronto anymore. So that's like, I feel like shouldn't be in the trucking business. I'm gonna get into some other
You got deeper in it too.
I don't know how you make money in trucking. Like down here, it's $90 an hour for a triaxle. The thing new costs over $250,000, right? Like how do you?
They're worth like $229. The rates here vary, but like a lot of it is how you manipulate.
Market yourself.
Like what we do a lot of pool digs, and so the truck sits a lot.
Yeah.
It takes a long time to load it. Gotcha. If you're running from the pits, then that's a hard way to make a living. The truck is just, you're burning $300 worth of fuel a day.
Yeah.
Like Christy, like we have a couple of good pool clients, so she spends a lot of time sitting on the porch burning data off her phone.
Yeah.
When the truck's loaded, she goes. Obviously, the truck has to go dump, but it takes bringing soil from the backyard is a long go, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I guess.
Have any of you guys seen any of this information about the new regulations on handling excess soil in Ontario?
Yeah, that's what we were just talking about.
Mike was just talking about
it. Yeah.
Hit rewind. Go back like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I've been down that rabbit hole.
Am I correct in understanding that basically, like, we're just tacking on $1,500 to every job at this point with it? Then basically,
if you could have somewhere to take it.
Yeah.
Anywhere around here won't take it without a table one. And I called to get a table one done at my house, said I was digging a pool, and it was $3,000 for the table one.
Awesome.
And you have to have where it's being excavated from, and you have to have the destination point. So like
you go all the way down.
Well, you can't even you couldn't get a table one and then just hand it out randomly because it has a destination point on it and where it came from. So and it has the cubic volume tested on it. It's crazy. It's a totally new, and the problem is that they don't, and I'm not saying it's their responsibility to figure out how to run my business at all. It's my responsibility to figure that out. But they can't even tell you what the real rules are. No one knows. The last 2 weeks, our office has spent 30 hours a week dealing with this problem. And we have no answers after 30 hours a week for 2 weeks.
Well, just keep digging holes, see what happens.
Yeah. You send it out to me, Matt. I'll take it.
Yeah, that's it.
How far is your yard?
Too low on sea level, eh?
I'm 10 years behind all of you guys. So before those regulations hit Cornwall, you got 10 years.
I might be coming to Cornwall.
What's that?
I might be coming to Cornwall, bro.
Right on. It's only 4 hours from you.
Better there now. It doesn't smell bad anymore.
I think I've dumped further than Cornwall.
You may have.
It's from me, yeah. I'm pretty certain that I've gone to dumps that are further out than Cornwall.
Yeah, I'm an hour from you, at least, maybe 4 minutes an hour, right? But
so I might be coming up.
Come on over. My yard is right off the highway.
I will take you up on that because I bought a camper, let's say, and I'm going to be out in Alexandria, Somerstown, right near you. So
15 minutes from me.
I said that if I'm going to be camping, I'm going to be like Zamco camping, and I'm just pimping the whole thing out. I'm going I'm gonna be the only guy in there with a gas fire pit, so I'm gonna have to dump some. Oh yeah. So I will take you up on that offer.
Yeah.
Have they hit you hard in Ottawa, Matt?
I mean, really, I don't move a lot of our stuff around whatsoever, to be honest with you guys. I mostly like sub all that stuff out, take the liability off our shoulders. So it's I haven't heard too much about it. I just kind of call the dump truck and they figure it out from there, right? So yeah,
that's what I'm doing, figuring it out.
Exactly. That's it.
Yeah. You're the figure it out guy.
Super awesome. You got like a lot of money invested in that truck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the truck and float. I mean, it's older. It's not brand new, but still, it was 120 grand.
Yeah.
For the truck and the trailer.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, we spent a lot of time floating equipment too, and hauling gravel and hauling for suppliers, and like, so it's not moving fill isn't like, if I just cut it out of the mix, it's probably 30% of our business. I'd have to find something like some way to fill. It's not like it's 100. There's guys, it's 100% of their business.
Yeah,
we're lucky. It's only probably like around 30% of our business right now. So with the roll-off truck, it would probably be 50-60% of our business. But we may reroute that into some other business. We'll convert our bins to garbage bins and paint them green.
But that's got to be a good business too. I mean, I was actually anticipating like, is a roll-off worth it? Because you bring it on a job site. I know guys that have their own roll-offs. Where you drop that on a job site, it has your logo all along the side, like a punch color or something, and it looks super clean, it looks super professional. I think but then you have this giant container that is where it is, and if you're on a residential property, you kind of have to move things around, and it becomes impractical. Do any of you guys work like that with like containers?
I use bins sometimes.
I use bins strictly.
Yeah.
I'd love to have one. Like it'd be great for my company. Like the homes aren't super close together and stuff. Like it would be great for us, like moving equipment, machines, and everything. No float. Priced one this spring. Tandem 225 they wanted plus HST, so 245 or whatever. We almost pulled the trigger, but we'll wait. I don't know what the economy is going to do there in a year or two. So
just make sure you're booked for 3 or 4 and you're fine.
Who's
put people on the list, eh?
Who's booking 4 years out at this point?
Make a bigger list.
Can you imagine being booked 4 years in advance? I wouldn't even want to deal with that.
I don't know the amount of quotes I'm shitting out lately.
Getting there, yeah, but I mean, like, I would never do that. It just sounds like a nightmare. You don't remember what you discussed. Materials have gone out, like have been completely replaced.
They're 20% higher, all right?
Yeah.
5% a year, whatever, right? But you get the odd person. Yeah, in a couple of years we're going to do a pool or stuff. Keep me in mind. Or okay, fine. Yeah,
that's fine.
But never. Let's book for 2026.
Yeah, no. I stress to book for 2023, and it's like, okay, how about this? It's like, I know you need to do your project. We'll run some ideas, we'll put something down on paper, but it's really just unofficial. We're going to readdress it there. I think it's the best way to go about it because everybody wants to just people tell me, oh yeah, I'm building my house now. I've designed more properties this year than ever that the house is, they haven't even started digging the hole of the house. It's like, what do you, these are my plans. You don't need to think this far in advance. It's like I had one client specifically that it was smart thinking. He said, well, look, I don't know if my balcony is placed well. You're doing a concrete balcony. Like, I don't know if that's placed well. Once it's there, it's there. So maybe we can see where the steps will come down, I'm like, okay, well, that's smart thinking, right? Because you're in the build process. But aside from that people just want to get on the list, right? So it's like, okay, cool. Like, but we'll talk when that time comes.
Yeah, or we'll talk in the winter. It's not a summer thing to go over a project like that, right? Like, we'll talk.
April, May thing.
Yeah. When we're all just sitting around waiting for the calls to come in,
Yeah. Can't even get off my phone ever.
At all.
I just want to take a moment to appreciate that this is an all Canadian roundtable here. So cheers to my fellow Canadians there.
Cheers, guys.
And Tony, did you add another crew this year? What did you do? I know the last time you were on, how's that going?
I'm at 12. I have 12 guys in my crew right now. Yeah, that kind of happened. It was like, I had my 6 for sure. Then I was like, okay, one, this guy, oh, my buddy, okay, 1, 2. And then in one day, like the first day we started, it was like, one after the other. And all of a sudden, like, okay, I actually refused 3 guys. Okay, I'm at 12 guys. So I have my 2 crews, but I'm not running them as, like, I don't know if we had discussion in the past, but I'm basically running them as one super crew, let's say, with the ability to split them off as needed, but we move together. 2 trucks, 2 trailers, 2 setups, which might not sound like it's the most practical, but I like the convenience of saying, okay, you know what? All of you head to the next job. You guys stay here. And it's not, one thing I always hated was just go in the trailer, grab the vibrating plate with the Teflon, grab this, grab that, and just put it into the back of that pickup. No, it's you leave with your trailer and you have everything we need here regardless, just to save time. But I'm going to start off with that and then ease off into actually breaking them off into 2.
So are you doing a lot of front yard, backyards this year that you're able to kind of have 6 guys, or split them up however you want? Like, how are you splitting up 12 guys on a job site?
I love on the job site. I know there's a lot of talk about, the crews of 2-man crews. There's a lot of people that really love the 2-man crews. For me, I find 3 is really great. So what I try to do is I split off within tasks on the job. Like, okay, you guys attack this wall, you guys pull that grade, you guys dig this out, and whatever the case is. So I'm basically, my 12 guys are technically, however you want to split it up, 3 crews of 4, 4 crews of 3, 6 crews of 2. So I have the versatility to take on many tasks at the same time on the job without slowing down, anyone else. I don't look at it as one, but then the beauty of it, the day you're laying pavers, you have 12 guys just laying pavers. You know what I mean? So you have that, you have the ability to not just have guys on call. It's like you're all working all the time, but when we need the whole crew together, then everybody just moves as a unit.
But do you have the drama, like, oh, this person can't work with this person, and we got to keep these 2 separated? Or
I'm lucky that I don't. But it becomes like a family at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So these guys we spend more time together than with our actual families. So I guess there's sometimes just some kind of drama, but I cut that shit right away. Like, guys, I'm not your teacher. I'm not your dad. I'm I'm barely your friend. Like, let's get real. Let's get real. And if you guys are going to act like children, then, you could go find something else to do. It's not the time or the place. But for the most part, I've been lucky. But I have heard a lot of drama.
It's good that you can work like that, right? Because the labor pool is so like shallow that sometimes you have to take who you can take and get them to work around them. Like, you got to get 2 guys to get along that didn't get along, or send them in different ways, send them in different crews. And
well, I have guys, like, every company has its 2 crew members that you're like, not that they can't work together, but you know that drama's going to start for nothing. So or you kind of have to make that call. Like, I knew there was certain guys that if I put them next to each other, eventually one of them's going to come to be like, and just start picking it, It's like, fuck that, I'm not dealing with it. Just do your thing. And yeah, for sure, there's that obstacle. But at the end of the day, like I said, we're guys, we're there to work, man. Take your drama home.
I gotta toss it in there. I hired a new guy. He just moved here from BC, actually, but he could basically be like a long lost Zambito brother. It's
really?
This guy, like,
he
I
might
swear
be.
You guys sound the same. You like look the same. He comes from a long line of concrete installers. Like, it's pretty hilarious.
We tell my brother that he's adopted because he's the only one with blonde hair, and he looks honestly, he looks really English. Like, he looks like he was switched at birth. We're pretty certain of it. So maybe,
maybe know. That's what
just happened. Ended up in another province, and
that's it.
Who knows? So yeah, I feel like I'm taking the whole show here. So how about anyone else? Is there anyone like hiring? And
I guess 7
this year. We're recruiting. We're not hiring. We're recruiting.
I like that word, recruiting. I like that. That's a good word.
But
You added
that's
7
good.
guys.
Well, that's a strong. Yeah, I like that. That's good. We're recruiting.
I'm
New members of the team.
we're 7. This is the biggest year for us. Split between residential and commercial though. So I gotta move them around. Like I don't want too many guys doing the same thing every day. Like I got my hardscape guys and my softscape guys and my shovel operator and stuff. And another one of my guys comes back at the beginning of May. But yeah, we're fluid. We're very fluid. Try and get everybody to do a little bit of everything besides the hardscape specialized guys, right? So yeah, and it works good like that. Like I told the guys, I want everybody to be able to do everything, so nobody has to do everything, right? Just take the load off the other guys, and we'll all make more money. Like I have no problem giving you guys more money to show me that we can all make more money together. It's sort of my company philosophy.
But it's exactly that. It's the making, and I've always had the same philosophy. Everybody has to be able to do everything. Maybe not right away, but at one point, because the guy pulling grade, you give him 3-4 years of pulling grade, his back is shot, his knees are shot.
Yeah,
he has forearms the size of Popeyes, but like, you know, at the end of the day, he could only do it for so long. He could only do it for so long. So
yeah. I tell the guys, like the guys that have been there who can set a grade, be like, so get the younger guys to do it. You don't have to pull that anymore, you know. Like
I keep telling my
put the pipes in, set the grade, and then get the other guys to do
the wall, you know.
Yeah. I mean, and then they'll move up the ladder, and then the next guy will move up the ladder, and like we'll all get there. We'll all make more money together. Just let me spend less time on site because I have another site to run or 2 more sites to run, right? And
50 customers to get back to.
50 customers to get back to, yeah. Which day is it going to rain? Because I got to put in some office time.
I used to explain. I mean, we only have 8, but when I dealt with like 15 or 20, like back in the day, we used to have. I used to say to them all, like, you're never going to get, you know, because I was the general manager of that company and I didn't own it, but I'd be like, if you think that the owner is going to take from his slice of the pie to give to your slice of the pie, it's not happening. But if you want to make the pie exponentially bigger, your slice will naturally increase as the circumference of the pie gets larger. You're like, oh yeah, I see that. Like, you know, like, because if the pie stays at 12, the owner's not going to suddenly say, oh, I want less money this year. Well, that owner in particular, for sure. But if the pie goes to 14, then naturally yours should get bigger as the pie gets larger, 14, 16, and then I'm sure at some point I had like a graph chart to explain.
Oh, I can't wait to hammer this up on my whiteboard in the conference room there this week.
I like that.
Yeah, it's great.
I like that whole. Yeah, it's
your whiteboard in your pecan, Matt. Eh?
That's it. My conference room, the clubhouse. I got a mini ping pong table coming soon.
There you go.
Company culture for the boys, you know.
There you go. It's like working at Google.
Yeah, right.
Just the same. Like
the
same as working at Google.
Less politics, actually.
Okay. Yeah. Guys, let's be honest. Given with the next generation of contractors, we're gonna have to most likely have sleep pods on job sites so people can take afternoon naps. Let's get real.
Yeah,
this is where our industry is going. It's all we're at the edge right now. It's just downhill from here.
Oh man.
Yeah. So no, it's that's crazy. But Matt, I like that pie analogy.
Matt, you were looking at subcontracting out designs. How has that been going for you?
Yeah, geez, it's tough because what I it brought into perspective is that I actually kind of did have a pretty unique style that kind of carried the brand a little bit, but maybe I didn't give as much credit to myself as I should have. So I'm finding these guys, they're pretty good at creating layouts, 2D designs, etc. But still finding myself picking the pavers and all the finishes at the end. So still a lot of work.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely, it's nice to have those like professional 2D CAD designs instead of my UVision ones and SketchUp and whatever I was using for all these years. But you know, it's a lot of work still on my end, more so than I thought it was going to be. I was hoping to offload a bit more of it than I've managed to here.
Yeah.
But I think that's important though, to have still that control, because at
Of
the
course.
end of the day, you almost don't want them to get too much of your style, because they're still designing for other people, and no matter what, once you get in that mindset, their eye will just they'll start producing those types of renders, whether it's for you or somebody else, without doing it maliciously. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool to tell them, you know what, how about you guys just put together what I tell you? You know, that way you keep your niche, right?
Yeah, no, that's it. And it's part of it too, is I've been like stacking up a whole bunch of jobs of special order products in order to be able to, like, you know, you have to get this minimum 2,000 square feet of all the industrial stuff, right? So I've got like over 2,000 square feet of beige cream, onyx black, grade nickel, and then some like 300 by 300 by 450s in like chestnut brown, beige cream, like a bunch of really cool driveway projects coming up with all those. But I had to like stack all of these projects together to hit the square footage minimum. So that took quite a bit, but we made her there with that. And yeah, that was sort of part of it, is they were sending me designs with this brick and that brick and that brick. And I'm like, no, that needs industrial 900s and that needs industrial 900s. And oh, that's a good spot for it there. Right? So, yeah, kind of had to stick with that. But yeah.
I didn't break the news yet to my guys that I sold a ton of 900 this year.
Yeah, but it's vacuum. You have an excavator. It's all good, man. Like I like it. The guys don't lift any bricks now. It's easier.
That's it. I'm trying to think of the best system.
In about 45 seconds is what I timed it at whenever we were doing it last year.
You know, what worries me. Like I designed one. It's gonna be coming up soon with the 900, which again, this is my problem. I was having this conversation with someone today. I had the whole project designed with the 24 by 60 slab. Like, you know, it's light enough, you know, it still gives you that look. Then I had to open my mouth. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? But it'd be really cool if we put the 900. Like, stupid, it's sold, man. And it looks good. Shut up. Like, and that's it. So now, and after the fact, I'm like, okay, but this is a multi-level. So technically, for me to get to the edge with my excavator, I have to build the bottom layer, half of it, pave half of it, work my way back, then build my steps. And I'm like, oh, I just gave myself so much more work for literally nothing. Yeah. And I have to do cuts around the pool, which 900 is going to be fun to cut around the pool.
Yeah.
So yeah,
they're big. They're big. But
it's 450 pounds a piece.
Oh yeah, it's nuts. Like that's the thing though, is like it's crazy how somehow the brick got way heavier, but it's actually like easier for the guys to lay.
Because machines.
Taking the heart out of hardscaping, eh?
No, Mike, how many decks have you torn out so far this season?
None. I got one coming up though. Although as we were talking about that before we went on about how like all my content is just pictures, other people's pictures of patios with hoses and people demoing decks. Like in the midst of that, like someone was burning a deck and they tagged me in it. Like it's even like one of my clients this week from 2 years ago sold their house and they sent me I posted, it was a little blurb about how successful they were selling their house because of the hardscaping. And it said, and we have a deck at our new house that we want you to tear down because we know you like that. And I'm like, wow, okay. Like I don't even have that. I don't even hate decks that much. They just never paid my mortgage.
It evolved into something
way bigger than it was.
I was talking about this. Like I hate roofs. I hate kitchens. I hate renovating basements. I hate anything that isn't building a patio because none of those things have ever paid my mortgage or paid for my kids to go to school or paid for my kids' soccer. So like the whole deck thing was based solely on the fact that I don't build them, so I don't like them. But I mean, like you could apply it to almost anything. Like, I hate Maseratis. Like, you know, they're taking money out of backyard patios. Like,
I hate Cancun. That place is brutal. Get out of here.
COVID took care of that problem. Like that problem is done, man. No, not one person has said to me, I would do this project, but I'm going on vacation for at least 18 months. Like, so, but yeah, the deck thing kind of like, it definitely accelerated.
It took off.
Yeah, of course, it's the year that I start. I'm going to be doing a bunch more decks this year too, so it's feeling a little left out over here.
Yeah, well, there's a couple. There's some guys in Manitoba. I think it's Manitoba. They own the Ultimate Deck Shop. I've joked around with them a bit. they have a podcast, and I was like, "Can I come on your podcast?" And they're like, no, you can't. Come on. I was on.
Go on with the shirt. Just fuck that. Fuck that. Build patios.
Yeah, it certainly got out of like, I don't know if it's out of control, but it's fun. I get tagged in a lot of, and the same with the hose pictures.
Yeah.
And then someone tagged me in a landscape emergency picture today.
Oh, that's a throwback for sure.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I get a lot of weird DMs,
but dude, I don't know how you come up with the posts. They're so intricate. There's so much thought put into them. I'm like, how? Like, what? I would love to spend one day in your mind just to see
how much stuff makes it to the trash floor. Like, there's so much stuff. Like, I mean, so much stuff that I think of, and then I never do it. Like, I just.
It's so funny.
We are going to have an epic. I am starting an epic series though, inspired by Caleb from Allman and his buggy battle that people probably actually care about, right? Like,
oh yeah.
Buggy's better. People probably care about that. We're going to have a bucket battle, and we're going to start comparing hardscape packaging. So we got the nitro bucket versus the Perma Edge bucket up first. I'm thinking about comparing Permacon's wrapper to Techoblock's wrapper.
Can we take a minute?
We're going to dive deep into this hardscape packaging thing because this is what people really care about.
Techoblock got rid of that egg, that big wrapper around you can't make a garbage bag out of it anymore. Drives us nuts. Just drives us nuts.
I use the sheet, but it's
the big sheet. We called it the egg, right? We tied the corners and stuffed everything inside. It was a big egg by the time we were done. Yeah. Don't do it anymore. We got to buy our own garbage bags again.
True. I just noticed it. It's true. Yeah. I didn't even notice that.
They have that new film, sort of like it's
the black film.
That works. So like the cloth stuff from last year, that's fine to tie up too.
What? The black part.
Yeah, it was just like black on one side, right? That's what you're talking
small,
about.
That's the stuff. Yeah, but it's not big enough. Mm-hmm. It's not big enough.
Monster bags with the
every single piece of that packaging is 100% recyclable too. You should be getting that blue garbage bags to throw out.
Do you know what we used to do with those eggs? We used to burn them because they burn great.
Man, it shows you have all kinds of lines.
That is like the more green option. Like whenever I worked out west on the rigs, we incinerated all of our garbage because it would be more wasteful to like travel that garbage around to go dump it somewhere than it was the bit of CO whatever that we're putting out into the atmosphere sort of thing.
Yeah, I always knew I was a trendsetter.
That incinerator was sweet too. Like you could burn anything. That was pretty cool.
Man, you don't want to be the bad employee on that job site. It's incinerated. What are you gonna do? Is good luck finding them.
That net is good for starting fires, though. That little plastic weave there, it burns so fast.
Really, that Teflon will? I would figure it would just melt.
That plastic, I don't know. Like it just takes off.
Nice.
It's great. Yeah.
I love how it has the breakdown of which one of these items burns the best.
You can tell like how big the city you live in based on what you do with the garbage there.
Our regulations are at the bottom.
Here in the GTA, we don't burn any plastic.
But if you could, you might.
We bought some Best Way coping today, and it came. And it was on the skid, and it was it was metal banded together.
Oh, that's a throwback too.
I couldn't get it open, and then it was, sometimes you can grab it and pull it, and I couldn't open it. And then the shovel, it was sliding around, and then I went and got a bolster and a hammer, and I'm like, what am I like living in 1987 here? Like, what the fuck is going on?
None of the old, all the old guys can open the banding. None of the new guys.
Yeah, one shot, boom.
Yeah, you take a hammer, and twist it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like, that's what I was trying to do, but it wouldn't work. And I'm like, man, like
it's probably not tight enough, right? Like the brick shifted or something, so you didn't have that tension enough. But
I'm like, trying not.
Ooh, those are.
It was all like.
I'm so happy we don't have to deal with those things anymore, though. Generally, like, holy crap, that was a nightmare. Like an hour folding up those bands and hoping they don't poke a hole in your garbage bag. Like, geez, what a nightmare.
I suspended the guy once. He was like folding the bands into like neat little things, right? He's like, look how good these bands look. And I'm like, bro, it's garbage.
Garbage.
What is garbage?
I wish you spent this kind of time on your cuts. Like, you're putting it there and you get equal 14-inch pieces. Like, what are you doing? Like, could you learn how to like grade? Like, God, it's literally garbage. We're throwing it away. We don't need it to look good.
That was amazing.
That's funny.
Well, guys, I should respect your time, especially since it's busy season. This was great. Just shooting the shit with you guys, Canadians, on this How to Hardscape podcast. Going around the table to each of you, where do you want our audience to go check out what you're doing, the projects that you're making this year, whatever you want to leave them with? Chad, let's start with you. Where can our audience go to find you? Any closing remarks you want to leave?
At Natural Design Landscapes. No, but like my content's shit. Once in a while I'll have a banger, but honestly, like, don't look to me for content. We'll keep trying to do some cool stuff and split it between hardscape and softscape, and it'll be fun. Love to do another one of these with you guys.
The list was great content, and you did post a story not too long ago about your hair. Don't cut the hair. The hair's got to stay.
It's got to sit. Have you ever tried getting brick dust out of long hair? Oh, it's awful. It's awful, man. It's like 2 days in a row, I'm showering, wash twice, condition, and then you got to put it up and my elastic breaks. And
you own an IQ saw, don't you?
What's that?
You own an IQ saw. That would probably help with that situation.
Yeah, but it's not fast enough. Like, it's not fast enough.
This guy's burning plastic. You think he gives a credit for his plastic? What are you talking about? Like, honestly, like, this guy just gave a breakdown of burning plastic and dumped it anywhere.
I'm wearing my respirator. Some of the old guys, they used to, like, they'll cut and they'll use their cigarette as their filter, right? Like,
yeah,
that's as much filter as you get, but I'm wearing a respirator whenever I cut.
It's okay. The best are the people that say, no, if you're a smoker, you can't get COVID.
Yeah.
Like, why? Yeah, because your lungs are already full of smoke. Like, just please don't touch the saw. Like, you're just way too dumb.
That cracked me up good. Oh man. All right. On to Matt. Hardscape Ottawa. Matt, where do you want to send our audience to? Where can they find you online?
All over Instagram, all over our website, hardscapeottawa.com, at Hardscape Ottawa. Lots of cool jobs coming. I'm coming for the title Driveway King from Tony there this year. So watch our content.
I hold on to my crown hard.
Oh, bro, I'm coming. You've seen a couple of the designs, but there's a lot of them.
They're killer.
All right. So having said that, Tony, where can our audience find you? What do you want to leave them with?
At Zamco Group on Instagram. Stay tuned. We're going to try to post a lot more informative content this year, try to show what our processes are and all that, without giving too much away, so that nobody could creep up behind and think our Driveway King title. But yeah, so stay tuned. We have a lot of really awesome stuff. I'm very excited for, we had a very creative winter, so we have some awesome stuff coming out this year, and I'm really excited to put it out there.
Sweet. And Mike, Paver King,
I've tried to plug this before on this thing, but like my OnlyFans page has not taken off. So like if we could get a few more people, paid memberships, I'm trying to work towards retirement. Like I don't understand why it's not working, but
so putting the hard back into hardscaping.
So you can find us at Paver King on any of the social media channels, and we are doing eventually in the next little while we're going to be starting a Nordic spa project. It's the Nordic spa. There's we were pulling the pond liner the other day. I don't know anyone that saw it. It was a 20,000 square foot pond liner.
Yeah.
So it's a really cool project. It's got we're going to be there basically from the spring till December.
Yeah, if it's anything like the one that's near Ottawa here, I bet you that's going to be insane. Because I've been and like it's all like Teco Antica and Bellagio. And
yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
gorgeous.
Awesome. Yeah. 7 pools. There's 7 pools on the project plus the pond. It's going to be super cool. I'm excited to build it. So that was our commercial client gave us that job. It's like 10 minutes from our house, so it's going to be a nice. And we have another big project going on downtown that we have been working on for almost a year now. on a parking garage. So, and we have like residential stuff. So it's going to be a good year. I'm excited about it.
Awesome.
I hope you get like a free like lifetime membership, like access to the spa whenever you want. Be like, I built that shit. That's it.
I think my wife
Sorry.
is like, if we do this, are we gonna, you know, if you're there, am I gonna get free passes? So we'll see.
Yeah.
And balls to that guy for building a place that's worth $50 million, where 700 people gather together and swim. Like, hey, balls to that dude. You know,
It's COVID right now. Mike, you're there.
No, I
You're
wish
there.
I could be
You
more
could-
like that guy. So
Like you could build whatever you want. You got to build a side tunnel, man. Build a side tunnel.
Right to
You
your
sell
own.
like there you go. And then who's gonna question? Like who's gonna walk up someone in a spot, be like, "Sorry, you weren't here before."
It's for
Side
drainage. It's
tunnel.
for drainage.
Exactly.
what's actually neat about that project is that was like a historical landmark at one time in Whitby. It was called Cullen Gardens, and like 10, 12 years ago, we had the contract to gut the buildings and tear down the whole Cullen Gardens and pull out all the bridges. So this is kind of full circle because they bought the land
cool.
and now they're building it. So, you know, I tore it down 12 years ago, and then that means I'm really old because I've cycled, like, you know, I tore it down and now I'm rebuilding it. But one time we did I'd worked in the town of Whitby for so long. We had a contract to lift and relay pavers I had laid 15 years before. And it was, you know, back then you used to like take the tear sheet from Unilock and it's plastic, and you'd put it under the pavers for the warranty to prove they were Unilock.
Oh, yeah.
Warranty. So we were lifting it up, and the sheet of plastic I put there 15 or 16 years before was still under it. No one burnt it. It's just neat. I've just been around a long time, so it's kind of cool to rebuild the spot because, you know, I tore it down, so now we're gonna get to have a small part in putting it back together for the city. So it's cool.
Well, that's awesome, man.
Well,
see it.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. Go follow these guys. We've learned a lot on this episode, everything from the list to knowing where I need to get rid of my plastic. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Go follow these guys, and we'll catch you next time on the How to Hardscape podcast.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you.
Better buds.
Awesome, guys. That is it. We are stopped streaming. We were streaming somewhere. I have no idea where. It's been a while since I've done one of these, but thank you guys for your time. I appreciate that. That was awesome. Just good.
Yeah.
To just chat with you guys because
So that was the least informative one, but by
yeah.
It was the funnest.
Fun. It was the least sort of like, you know, like legitimate, like, hey, this is how we're running our business sort of thing. Like, you know, but I had the most fun on that one. Yeah.
This is great. We need one.
Yeah, I think this is an awesome idea. Like the round table should be this, and then like segments of like informative, but the round tables, I mean, it's just shoot the shit, right?
Yeah,
I liked it. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, that was fun. I like that.
Yeah, and now I'm coming. When I'm at my camper over there, I'm gonna come by for a Burning Man.
Yeah, I'll bring you out a couple eggs of our garbage there. Then,
There you go.
yeah, right.
Then like on the campground, just burn those. Be like, don't worry, I got a buddy in Cornwall that says this is perfect.
They do it all the time. They do it all the time.
I hear this is all you guys do
It's
out here.
okay. It's good.
I can't believe you guys don't do that.
I'm gonna do it now. I gotta
Never-
see it now.
Never. But
I
Dude,
was
I'm-
looking for plans this weekend, you know. Just
where we're working right now, I'm not allowed to dump product on the road.
We're not either, but we say, "Oh, sorry, we'll clean it up. We didn't know."
yeah, well, it'll be gone by tomorrow, bud. No worries.
Like, we're not allowed to
Oh,
dump,
okay, right on. You guys are cool.
never mind burning plastic. Like, we're not allowed to dump on the
Yeah, but we don't burn plastic on site. We take it
Oh,
home.
we'll take it home, yeah.
We burned it at home like sensible human beings.
Yeah. I'm gonna get a knock tomorrow from Environment Canada or something, and they heard you were burning plastic. Oh, that was another guy with long hair. It looks like an idiot.
He's gonna cut his hair tonight.
Yeah. No, that
Jake,
wasn't. See that guy? He looked ridiculous.
Sunglasses? No, I don't. Never. heard
He
of
just
them.
grabbed a bunch of my plastic and ran off. I don't know where he is.
Show up,
You want
You should go find him. Go find him. Go.
You're not on the list. I don't have time for you.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, what?
Book an appointment. I'll put you on the list. We'll talk in December.
I can't do this fine right
We'll
now.
talk about this in October. That'll be the
Yeah,
end.
that's it. Yeah, make it an appointment.
Oh man. Well, guys, this was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
So,
Out of last place.
yeah. I think I think we should. It's hard to find time with everything going on, but it's this was a good decompression for me too. Like with all the craziness, it's good to talk
Nice
to
to
other
be able to
business
laugh about
owners
this
and not
stuff,
employees.
Yeah.
That's it.
No,
Yeah.
this was much needed for sure, especially starting the season off. I appreciate it. I know it's tough to find this time, but guys, that was great. I needed that.
Yeah, for sure.
Sign me up for another there sometime.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Get it there.
Right on. We'll touch base in a month and see if we're all in such a good mood still. So
Yeah.
I would love. I think that's what it is. We got to see the progress of our mood throughout the year, and that should be a whole segment on itself. Where does how much gray do we get?
Maybe one time we'll do one of these live at Chad's plastic burnings.
Bring it all into the yard. We'll have an egg burning.
I think sounds good to me. Let's do it. Jojo, I have to see it now, so let's do it. All right, guys, I'm gonna step out and had a lot of fun. So, guys, good luck with the rest
I
of your season.
procrastinated my invoicing for an hour now, so
Sounds good.
Nice.
all right.
Thanks,
Good night,
guys.
guys. Good talking to you all.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.